who are present. So like I said, if you follow me to the top left-hand side of the screen, second row of links says DocBox. DocBox is a standalone feature within your Instanet Forms plus DocBox account, part of your member benefit. You receive these services as part of your membership dues. You pay your dues, you receive Instanet Forms plus DocBox from the association. DocBox is a standalone feature, and we will take a look at those, all of those features within DocBox. You can work with it. You can come right into your account and go right to DocBox and do nothing but manage online documents. DocBox. If you follow me to the right side of the screen, second row of links still, transactions. Documents are element of a transaction file. So once you can complete forms and contracts, then receive and store those documents back right in your online transaction file. So we'll take a look at that feature within the transaction file, documents within that online transaction file. Once we complete those two items, then we're going to go up to the Settings tab. The Settings tab to show access to DocBox to go, the mobile access, as well as the DocBox print driver. My suggestion, if you are having any audio difficulty through your speakers on your computer, you may be better benefited by dialing into the conference call number. When your computer is processing a GoToMeeting, all the video, and then you add in that audio through the voiceover, your computer is downloading quite a bit of data. So if you're only hearing every other second word, or if it is garbled, you may benefit from switching over audio to the conference call number. Otherwise, shut down all of the other processes that you may have running. If you're trying to multitask, watch this video, send and receive email, if you're doing a bunch of other tasks on your computer, you are going to suffer. Your go-to training session is going to suffer from those other processes running at the same time. So sometimes it does clear up as we move through, but otherwise I would encourage you to dial in rather than process through your computer. With that said, I'm going to click on DocBox. I'm in the top left side, clicking on that DocBox link, that second row of links, clicking on DocBox. Unlimited online document storage, unlimited toll-free faxing, and document management features are available to you as part of your member benefit. So we're going to see all of those features now. We're going to see how to create fax back cover sheets, how to upload documents to your online account, how to work with Instanet fax. We're going to talk about the 4 different types of faxing services that are part of your DocBox. Inbound faxing, using fax back cover sheets, receive faxes inbound to your online account. Outbound faxing, opportunity to fax any documents or completed forms that you have stored online can be faxed outbound. Fax to email, Instanet fax, you start with paper pages, you deliver PDF documents to a recipient's email address. Fax to email. The 4th service is email to fax. You start by composing an email message, you deliver a paper fax to a recipient's fax machine. These are the 4 types of faxing services that are part of your DocBox solution. So this is DocBox, and I know it doesn't look like much right now. Right-hand side of the screen, we do have short little videos that you can, 30 to 45 seconds to see that specific action. How do I upload a document? How do I fax a document? How do I email? So we're certainly going to cover those features today, but if you ever have questions going forward, you can access those shorter little videos to show you click-by-click sequences of how to complete those actions. Left-hand side of the screen, let's just talk to these folders here for a moment. Inbox, your DocBox is an inbox, so you can receive faxes right to that document inbox. You can upload documents right to that inbox. Could you see the folder below it is transactions? And my transactions folder has a little plus sign next to it, which means that by expanding that, I can double click on it or click the plus sign. It's going to show me the transaction files that I have within my Instanet Forms plus DocBox account. The documents that are stored within those transaction files are available to me here within the DocBox. They're really stored here in DocBox and then made available to me through the transaction file. So they are in both places at one time. Share documents. If anyone in your office shares documents, your broker, your business partner, your listing team member, if they share documents with you, you will see them here in the Shared Documents folder. The bottom one is My Folders. You can create any, I call them non-transaction specific. So you can see we have folders for all of our transaction files. But maybe you want some additional foldering for your professional licensing documents where you're going to upload all of your paid receipts for your dues and all of your CE credits and all of that continuing education. Wherever you want to store those documents. Maybe you have your favorite takeout restaurant menu that you want to have available to you online. When you have unlimited online document storage, you can be creative on the documents that you're actually saving there. So we'll see how to create these features and create new items within your online account. So those are the folders. As I go up to the top left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to point out this feature, I would like to. That is a very consistent phrase throughout your Instanet Forums and DocBox account. I would like to. So please do make a note of that phrase. I would like to. And it's always in association with these upside-down triangles, these drop-down arrows, if you will. Because when I click on that arrow, it expands that menu. Here is where a lot of the features are within your DocBox so that we can copy forms, or copy documents. We can create fax cover sheets and Instanet fax cover sheets. We can create new folders under those My Folders. Certainly anything we add we could delete. We can email or fax outbound. Here's part of that outbound delivery. You can deliver right from your online account. We can merge, we can package, and we can upload. So let's start with faxing. Let's talk about a fax back cover sheet. I'm going to select that action. You can see that we have, every time we create a new transaction file, a fax back cover sheet is automatically generated for that specific file. So fax back cover sheets can be very specific. They can be specific to a transaction file. They can be specific to a document type. They can be very specific in the document that you are receiving. They can also be very generic. You can make them very generic so that they just go directly to your DocBox inbox. There's just different ways to create these cover sheets depending on how you want to receive those inbound faxes. So let's create one. Create new fax back cover sheet. Now click here on the Go arrow on the top left-hand side of the screen. Create a fax back cover sheet. So starting from the top, you can see that we can make them very specific. Are we expecting or faxing ourselves a specific document with this cover sheet? We can identify that document so that when the fax is received, the document is identified. We can give it that document type. If you don't see the document type in this list that you have or are receiving, you can add a type to the list. You can give your cover sheet a header so that when you receive that document, when you receive that inbound fax, it's going to name the document that header. So if it is the home inspection for 123 Main Street, you can name your cover sheet. So when the fax is received using that cover sheet, it's named home inspection for 123 Main Street. So again, you can be very specific. So I could say, yes, it's an inspection, and it is the home inspection. I'm just going to say it's the HI for Main Street 123. Are these features required? Absolutely not. If you benefit from them, if you benefit from giving them these unique identifiers, you certainly can. Here's some additional options. Please notify me when the fax is returned. So by default, you are going to get an email notification that the fax has been received to your DocBox account. It's going to be by email. You're also going to include a PDF copy of that received fax. So by default, every time you receive the inbound fax, you're going to be notified via email with a PDF copy of the received fax. They are optional items. You do not need to receive those if you don't find value in it. I think it's always a value to be notified. It'll be up to you whether or not you want a PDF copy. You're receiving It's being saved. A copy is being saved to your online account. You decide if you want a PDF copy in your email as well. We're creating this cover sheet. Do we want to send it to somebody? It's a home inspection. Do I want to email or fax it to the home inspector with a message saying, please use this cover sheet to fax me a copy of the home inspection upon completion? You certainly could do that. You could put in their recipient. We'll just call them Steve. Steve, home inspector. And his email address. I can add a carbon copy to the email, a blind copy, a message. Steve, please use the attached cover sheet to fax me the completed home inspection. Call with questions. Do you want to fax it to somebody? As you go down this list, faxing options, we can fax it outbound to somebody. We certainly want to save it. I'm going to save a copy of this to our inbox. We're going to call it the home inspection, the HI cover sheet. In the bottom right-hand side of the screen, I'm going to create this cover sheet. So did I have to add all those features? No. I want to show you that you can add as much or as little detail as you like. I'm more of a proponent of a very generic cover sheet, just so that I don't have 100 different cover sheets that I'm trying to filter through every time I want to send in or receive a fax. I use one cover sheet, the one cover sheet to be direct to my inbox. Because anytime I receive documents to my inbox, as we'll see, I can move them or drag and drop them into the appropriate transaction files. Well, now let's take a look at this cover sheet. When I click on the cover sheet, you see the right-hand side of my screen changes. The bottom of the right-hand side, there is the I would like to drop-down menu. I would like to view the document, rename the document, view the document history. So let's go ahead and click on the Go arrow. I would like to view the document, clicking on Go. We want to view this cover sheet. We want to make sure that you are familiar with what a cover sheet looks like, the technology involved in this cover sheet. Because remember, this is a cover sheet. Senders are going to use this as the cover sheet. They're going to dial the toll-free number. It is a generic toll-free number. It is the barcode that is unique. The barcode has my account information. The barcode is what it makes this cover sheet specific. Our receiving faxes read this barcode, convert your paper fax to PDF document, delivers that PDF directly to your online account. You're essentially turning your fax machines into scanners. You're feeding your fax machine paper pages. You're outputting PDF documents. These cover sheets turn fax machines into scanners. Feed your fax machine paper, receive PDF as the output. And whoever the sender is, it could be you, it could be your client, it could be your cooperating agent, it could be service providers, lenders, title officers, whomever. You can deliver these to whoever you are expecting to receive faxes from. So that's the fax back cover sheet. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Instanet fax is essentially the same cover sheet technology, same toll-free number. From the I would like to create an Instanet fax cover sheet. Select that action, click on Go. Well, what's the difference? The PDF output. In this PDF output, that PDF document is delivered to a recipient's email address. You identify the email recipient. Carbon copy, blind copy. Do you want a copy? I think that's important. You just want to make sure it's getting received. What's the subject? Maybe it's the home inspection for 123 Main Street. You have a paper copy. You were there with the home inspector. They finished it. They printed it for you. They handed you a 30-page printed document. What are you going to do with that printed document? You want to get a copy to your client so they can review it. You can create one of these cover sheets, Instanet fax cover sheets, create that Instanet fax cover sheet. I identified my email recipient. I gave it the subject. I should type in the email message. Jack, he's my client. Please review and call with questions. 30 pages. Include a fax back cover sheet. Anytime you deliver outbound, anytime you send an outbound email, anytime you send an outbound fax, anytime you create an Instanet fax cover sheet, you are going to be asked if you want to include a fax back cover sheet. So the recipient can take appropriate actions to return signed, ratified, initialed, completed documents back to you. Create Instanet fax cover sheet. Clicking on that action button at the bottom center of the screen, link to this created cover sheet, clicking on the link to open. It is a PDF document. It is a PDF document. You can see in the top left corner there's a print feature, save feature, so you could use this over and over again. I'm a proponent of creating one Instanet fax cover sheet for your own email. So anytime you receive paper, you can use the Instanet fax cover sheet to fax that paper to your own email account. It is the same barcode technology. It is the same toll-free number. Use it as the cover sheet. Dial the toll-free number. Our receiving fax reads the barcode, converts the paper fax to PDF, and in this case delivers that PDF to the email recipient identified on the cover sheet. Instanet faxing. Create one Instanet fax to your own personal email account. Every time you receive a piece of paper, grab that cover sheet, fax it to your email, forward it to whomever needs to have a copy. Those are the opportunities. So we've talked about 3 of the 4 faxing. We've looked at 2, and we've talked about 3. I'm going to close that tab. Let me go back to the DocBox. Because the other one is outbound faxing. So any documents that you have online, you can fax outbound. We'll look at that here in a moment. Let's just go right down the list. Create a new folder. Create new folder. Click on the go arrow. We're going to create a My folder. That's what this option does. It gives us the opportunity to create subfolders within those My folders. And let me just call it, I don't know, professional documents. Or you know what, maybe something that's even more appropriate. Closed 2010 files. Maybe you want to start creating folders for all the properties and all the transactions that you closed in 2010 or 2009 or 2008. Bottom right-hand corner, going to create that new folder. Because the one feature about the My folders that is different than transactions is that we can actually create subfolders. So now, close 2010. I'm going to show you another menu item here. I've selected that. I'm going to use the right mouse button. There are 2 buttons on your mouse. One's on the left, one's on the right. The left one is much more used. The one on the right typically has features as well. By clicking that right mouse button, I yield this right mouse menu. If I go to the new DocBox folder, because under closed 2010, maybe I want to make it that Main Street 123. Under the closed 2010, create new folder. So now I have this subfolder, so I can go back and I can start digitizing all those paper files. Clear out your attic, clear out your basement, the trunk of your car, wherever you have your closed files stored. Put them online. Make digital backups. It's a great way to learn how to use your Instanet Forms plus DocBox account by practicing with closed files. That way you don't have any client guinea pigs. That way you don't have to wonder if what you're doing is right or wrong. You're working with closed files, no stress, no expectations other than learning how to use the system. This foldering can be very helpful to manage those closed files. Back to that I would like to menu. Obviously anything you add you can delete. Email or fax. Let's just stick with the faxing. Fax outbound. You have to select the document. Because email is the same thing. When it's fax, you put in a name and a fax number. If you email, you put in a name and an email address. So I'm going to select that document. I'm going to click on the go arrow. I would like to fax select the document. Click on the go arrow. Who's your recipient? Jack. What's his fax number? Do you want to include a fax back cover sheet? Are you expecting your recipient to fax something back to you? If you're faxing something to them, there's a pretty good chance that they're going to turn it around and fax it back to you. Signed, ratified, executed, initialed, accepted, so forth. Include that cover sheet. Send that outbound fax. And it's internet faxing, right? You don't need to be within 1,000 miles of a fax machine to send that outbound fax. It's internet faxing. You are instructing DocBox to complete that action. DocBox will complete it in real time. You will receive email notifications. Starting to see a little trend there, all these email notifications. You will be notified when your fax is successfully sent. You will get that email notification. Or if it fails, which may be even more important, so that you know that it didn't go through. So you get the email notification, and then you can decide why, maybe typed in the wrong number, follow up with the recipient to make sure you got the right number, and so forth. You're going to get that email notification. No more printing out documents to send outbound faxes. No more waiting in line to send those faxes. So you can fax or email any documents, completed forms that you have online. Merge feature is a nice feature so that you can merge PDF documents together. So let's select that action. We've already got one, so let's just choose the other one as well. Press and hold the Control key to select multiple documents. Middle left-hand side of the screen, press and hold the Control key. That CTRL key on your keyboard, press and hold to select the additional. Because now I want to merge them together. I would like to merge selected documents and click on the go arrow. It's going to give us an opportunity to first put them in a meaningful sort order. We can name our new document, and we'll just call them the merged Lake Road Docs. I want to put them into a different folder, and we'll just save it within that same Lake Road folder. Select where you want it to be merged. Is it a particular type of document now that you've merged? You can give it those identifiers. Scrolling down, create merge document. Could be helpful, so instead of sending someone 3 attachments to an outbound email, you merge them together, you send one attachment. Anytime you have multiple attachments, there is opportunities for them to be missed. So not only do you retain the 2 individual, we now have them merged. We can retain those, we can take appropriate actions, deliver them outbound, so forth. That's the merging. Packaging is very similar to merging, except the merging part. Package them puts multiple PDFs into one PDF package. I liken it to a grocery bag. Grocery bag, you take individual grocery items and you put them in the one package. You carry that package, you open it, you remove the individual items. It's the same thing when you package PDFs. You take individual PDFs, you put them into a PDF package, you deliver it outbound. Recipient opens the package, opens each individual PDF. That's what the packaging does. Upload documents. I'm going to skip the email because we're going to get a 2-for-1 with that email in just a second. Upload documents. So we just looked at how you can receive documents inbound via fax. The other way that you can receive or upload documents into your online account is the upload feature. Uploading documents gives us access to our locally stored documents on our desktops, our laptops, our jump drives, however we're storing documents offline, we're going to upload to our online. I would like to upload a document. And in that is that's the key here, being online in our cloud. You know, you are going to the cloud. When you are working in your Instanet forms and DocBox, you are cloud computing. Not to be over dramatic, but that is the case. You are on our cloud, on our servers. We have 2 server locations, one in Austin, Texas, one in London, Ontario, Canada. They are separated geographically. They are running redundantly to ensure that you have access to your documents, your completed forms, your transaction files 24 hours a day, 7 days a week from any internet connection. From any internet-enabled device, you can retrieve these online documents. That's the key, accessibility to your online documents, to the cloud. It's our Instanet cloud. We maintain that so you have access to your documents from any internet-enabled device. we're uploading a document. We're going to name the document. Is it a particular type? Not required. My documents are pretty well named when I save them, so I'm just going to click here on Add. I'm accessing the documents I have stored on my laptop computer. Documents, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PDF documents, image files, JPEG, bitmap, GIF, all different file formats are supported. So let's just go ahead. We'll just choose a Word document. Selecting that, actually I can just double click on it. So I can double click on the document, and you can see that's been added to my little upload manager. I can do this four at a time before I need to upload, empty it, and I can start again. Click on Add. You want to find the appropriate folder wherever you saved it, because maybe you're a scanner and you're going, all these faxing features are nice, but I have an all-in-one system and I generally use scanning over faxing. So, the faxing features, although I may use them a little bit, I use my scanner a lot more. Great. Scan all that paper to file. Where are you saving those files? Offline, on your desktop, laptop, or other location. Let's just choose an image file here. Here's my dues, so let me choose that. Word documents, image files. Where do I want to put them? I'm just going to put them in the inbox because I mentioned previously I'm a proponent of receiving documents to the inbox with generic cover sheets going to the inbox, upload to the inbox. I've added my 2 documents. I'm uploading them to my inbox because I want to show you, one, the conversion to PDF, and then the opportunity to drag and drop those documents into the other transaction or my folders. So you can see I'm building these inbox documents. And I brought up these 2 non-PDFs because I want to make a very important point here. Select the Word document because maybe I want to deliver this to somebody, but I don't want to send it in Word format. I want to send it as a PDF. I right-click. I use that right mouse button again. I can convert this Word document to a PDF. Selecting that action, I do wish to convert it to a PDF. Basically what it's going to do is create a PDF copy of that Word document. So now I have it as a PDF. I have 2. One, the original Word, so maybe I can update that Word document for each new client or prospect or cooperating agent. Once I make the appropriate updates, I can convert it to PDF and deliver that PDF document. But here's also what I like. Remember to press and hold the Control key, that CTRL key on your computer, select those additional documents. As I receive documents into my DocBox inbox, I can select them. Pressing and holding down the left mouse button, I can drag and drop these files to the appropriate folders. So I can move them, I can review them, I can rename them, and I can move them to the appropriate files. This is why generic cover sheets work for me. I receive my faxes back to the inbox. I review the fax, I rename the fax, I drag and drop the fax to the appropriate folder. It's just an easy way for me. I don't have to think about all the different fax cover sheets that I have in play. I use the one, and I drag and drop that way. Document management within your DocBox. The final one I want to take a look at here before we move over to looking at transaction files and our documents within transaction files. I want to look at the upload documents via email. I'm going to select that action and click on Go. I call it the Go arrow because when you hover your mouse on it, it typically says Go. I would like to upload via email. And you see it created this little link here. We have integrations with Microsoft Outlook. I'm going to click on this link. It's going to launch a unique Microsoft Outlook email message with a unique to address and subject line. Let's see if it's generated that yet. Here it comes. Spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning. There it is. So if I have multiple documents or I have larger documents, the value of using the email integration is that I don't have to wait for the documents to upload. As you see, when we use the upload manager, we add 2, 3, 4 documents, we click upload, and we have to wait for it to process and for those documents to upload before we can go on to the next step or next action. When we are emailing, we just attach email messages to this. We attach our documents to the email message. We don't change the address, file upload. We don't change the subject line. This subject line is the alphanumeric equivalent of the barcode on the cover sheet. Does that make sense? When you use the FaxBack cover sheet, there's a barcode that our faxes read to convert to PDF and deliver to your online account. When you use the email, our email servers read this subject line and deliver those documents, attachments, to your online account. So as long as you know what the subject line is, you can compose any email message and paste this subject line in. As long as you're sending the email to file upload with a subject line, you can compose the email from any provider. You just have to know that to address and subject line. So if you were to copy that to a Word document or a notepad or something like that, if you retain that subject line, you can paste it into any message that you're composing. It doesn't have to be Outlook if you don't regularly use it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to attach a document or 2 or 5 or 10. It's really only limited by your email provider. What size files are they going to allow you to upload? Go to that assorted, and we'll just pick a few here. 1 PDF, of course. JPEG. Let's just pick a couple. Press and hold the Control key. This is kind of a nice feature too. I can select a couple at a time and click on Insert. Those 3 documents are attached, and I click on Send. That's it. Now I'm done. Now I can move to the next. What's my next task today? I've uploaded these. I haven't uploaded them yet, but they're sending. And I can go on to the next task. I can go on to the next feature and wait for those to be delivered in. I'm going to pause my screen just for 1 second here because I'm going to launch or compose another email message. I'm going to show you the 4th and final faxing service we call email to fax, where you can compose an email message and send an outbound fax. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. Your to address for this particular feature is faxit@transactiondesk.com. Your subject line is the recipient's email address. 10-digit dialing. I add the dashes for effect. You don't have to, but I add them in for effect. The 4th faxing, email to fax. You start by composing an email message. We are going to deliver a paper fax. I'm going to attach the document that I want to fax, or documents. I'll just pick that one again. However many we want to send, and we click Send. Email to fax. Faxit@transactiondesk.com is the to address. The subject line is your recipient's fax number. Attach the document you want to fax and click Send. Our receiving email servers convert that convert that digital document to an outbound fax, deliver the paper fax to your fax recipient. 4 distinct faxing services as part of your member benefit. So we've gone through, we've looked at all of the features of this drop-down menu, covered a lot of ground within the DocBox. I know we're creeping up on that 45 minutes, but I do want to now switch over to transactions, because this is the standalone. This is the DocBox. We've been looking at the DocBox feature. It's a standalone element within your member benefit. The nice thing, in my opinion, about working with transaction files is that you can bring all these elements of your member benefit together into one online transaction. These transactions, I'm going to click here on Transactions. Transactions really do replace those manila folders, because everything that you add to your online transaction file is the same as what you would add to your manila folder. As you start your new folders, you start filling them with blank contracts and agreements and things like that. You can do the same thing when working with transaction files. You have access. Let's just choose the Lake Road. We kind of worked with that a little bit. So this is my online transaction file. What are the features of my transaction file? Well, certainly forms, so that I can prepare those forms. I can type them up. I can complete those forms online. I can deliver them outbound via email, fax, print. So I can get those completed forms delivered to my clients, cooperating agents, loan officers, whoever I'm sending them to. So I can complete those forms online. And that's where documents come in. Documents, I can store the signed, ratified contracts, the home inspections, the surveys, the title commitments, the settlement statements. I can pre-qualification letters. You can save and store all of these documents right in your transaction file with the forms, with your contacts, with your property information. Replace those manila folders filled with paper pages with online transaction files filled with digital forms and documents. Because from the dashboard, that's what we refer to, these red bullet points here in the left-hand column. All of these red bullet points are elements of our online transaction. So when I click on Documents, it's going to show me the documents, again, that I have added already to this transaction. I can pull documents over from my DocBox. I can upload documents to my transaction file. I can upload documents via email directly to this transaction file. Same steps as we saw just a moment ago, but in these cases it will go right to this file. Let me show you this. I would like to. There's that phrase again, I would like to. Email selected documents. Upload and fax, package and merge. You have this opportunity to work with documents within a transaction file. So I showed you all the features in the standalone DocBox element. We're seeing most of those same features within our documents, within our transaction files. So it can be very convenient to create a transaction file, to complete your forms, deliver them outbound. Use the fax back cover sheets, because you can see, if I move that menu, you can see that I have a cover sheet specific to this file. This cover sheet, I'm going to click on it. This cover sheet will deliver any returned faxes directly to this specific transaction file. I still get the email notification that the fax is received. I still benefit from those features. Same cover sheet, same toll-free number. But we can see as I scroll down here, this cover sheet is attached to the specific transaction. If I zoom in a little bit, it'll make it a little easier to read there. There you go. That's the only difference between this fax cover sheet and the one we created previously. This one will deliver the returned faxes directly to the file. Save those signed ratifieds right along with those completed forms. Transaction files replace those manila folders. Questions come in regarding going through contract revision. I guess I'll need to get a little bit more detail about what you're referring to in a contract revision, but we certainly can speak to that. Going back to forms, I mean, you can certainly update or revise your forms and contracts at any time. There is a markup tool, maybe that's what you're referring to. Within the DocBox, question regarding the toll-free number. It is generic to all 400,000 users. The generic toll-free number is the same for everybody. It is the barcode technology on the cover sheet that is unique for every user in every cover sheet. So the toll-free number is generic. Now we do have additional features. If you want your own personal vanity fax number, we do have those upgrades. You can contact our sales department, and they can you can purchase annually for I think $69. You can purchase your own vanity fax number, toll-free fax number. The vanity fax numbers basically do away with the need for the cover sheets, because instead of using the cover sheet technology to differentiate your fax, you have your very own fax number to differentiate those faxes. So you can upgrade your account to those toll-free numbers. I'll get you that contact at the end of the session for our sales department. If you choose to move forward, we have both local fax numbers and toll-free fax numbers that you can purchase upgrades for your account. Offer is signed by the buyer or seller, adding signature. I apologize, I'm just not quite sure. When you complete your forms and contracts, we do have AuthentiSign. That is a digital signature technology, but otherwise you are delivering outbound, unsigned, completed forms. Let's say you email or fax it to your recipient. They receive that, they sign it, and then they can use the fax back cover sheets to deliver those signed, ratified contracts directly back to your online transaction file. So those are the opportunities there, and I don't know if I'm specifically answering your question, but we're creeping up on my cutoff time here, so let me go to the next step. Well, there's two ways to add the document back in. Once that recipient has signed the contract, you deliver to them the unsigned, completed listing agreement or exclusive right to sell. You typed it up. Now you're going to do one of three things. Once you complete typing it up, you're going to do one of three things. You're going to email it to them, you're going to fax it to them, you're going to print it out and go meet with them for their signatures and initials. I guess you could do AuthentiSign as well, but we'll leave that on the back burner for now. We do have digital signatures to close the loop on these paper cycles, but that's not part of DocBox. So taking into consideration today, once you type up the contract, you're going to print it out to go meet with them. You're going to email it to them or fax it to that recipient. Your recipient, let's just say you sit down. And for this example, exclusive right to sell. 9 times, 8 times, 7, 8 times out of 10, you have typed up that listing agreement because you're going to meet with that client. You're going to sit down at their kitchen table. You're going to go through your listing presentation. You are going to try to win that business. You're going to try to get that document signed. When they sign that listing agreement, now you have ink signatures on paper pages. You're going to go back to the home office or your office, probably the home office, with a bunch of paper pages. Now, what are you going to do with those paper pages? You're going to stuff them in your manila folder and put them in a filing cabinet like you have before? No, that's not why you're here. That's not why you're utilizing these services. You're going to take those paper. Now, you tell me, are you going to scan them to a file? Do you have a scanner at home and you're going to scan that paper to a PDF document or an image file on your computer? If that's the case, I'm going to go back to Documents. I'm in the dashboard on the left, clicking on Documents. If you have scanned that listing agreement, that signed, executed listing agreement, you could then choose to upload that document to your online account, right back into that transaction file. So you can use the upload feature. If you scanned those paper pages to a PDF or to an image file on your computer, you choose upload a document and go through the steps to upload that digital file to your online account. Well, no, I want to fax it. I have a fax machine at the home office. I don't have a scanner. In that case, you're going to print out a copy of this cover sheet, and you just have to print out one because you can reuse them over and over and over again. You're going to print out that cover sheet. You're going to use it as the cover sheet to fax those signed listing agreement directly to your online account. So that is the way to store those documents, because those are the ones you really need, right? The typed up ones are nice, but they're just letters on a page until somebody signs it. Once they're signed, now they're ratified, they're executed, they're binding. You're required to retain those for your state-required retention periods, 3, 5, 7, 10 years. You can take those. Upload a revised document. Upload a document revision. That's basically if you have maybe a counteroffer. So the first thing you did was submitted an offer, purchase offer for a buyer. So you have that offer. The revised is the counteroffer. So it's basically replacing that original document. You still always have access to the original, but it replaces it within your file. So I wouldn't get yourself all bound up about upload a document revision. Just upload a document. It's the same steps. They're the same features. The revision means you're replacing or you have revised a document. And these are documents. Now you really have to differentiate in your mind between a form and a document. I know semantically they're the same to you. Well, a form is a document, is a contract, is a document, is a form, and they're all semantically the same, and I agree with you. But Instanet Forms sees them differently. Instanet Forms are online fillable forms. They're in the Forms library, fillable forms in the Forms library. A document is everything else. They're the signed ratifieds, they're surveys and home inspections and settlement statements. Those are documents. If you have received one document, and maybe it's the pre-qualification letter. You got one that said your buyer was pre-qualified for $200,000. Well, something changed, and the loan officer revised it and sent you the revised pre-qualification letter that says they're actually qualify for $225,000. So you can upload that revision of that document. So you can replace the original pre-qualification with the revised pre-qualification. And the only thing it does, if you upload a document, you'll have two showing in your transaction file. If you upload the revision, you'll have one showing in your transaction file. You'll have access to the original, but it will not show in your transaction file. So that is the uploaded document revision. Documents is part of your online transactions. These are the documents that you want to save for those long-term retention periods. All right, with that said, it looks like we might be going to that 60 minutes. We're about 10 minutes of. We've looked at DocBox, that standalone document feature, DocBox feature. We've now and are looking at documents within a transaction file. And my sense is that you'll use both. I would encourage you to first create the transaction file. For any time you have that new client, create the transaction file at that first substantive conversation. When you have that referral call or that phone duty call or however you get that first touch from that new prospect, go on, start a new transaction file. Start building that transaction file. You can use or access that file through DocBox if you have some features of the DocBox that you want to use. But otherwise, I really think that you want to start and work with the transaction files. Use DocBox when you need to, when you're receiving documents into the inbox, review them, rename them, move them. Because there's also features in there that aren't in transactions, like the PDF conversion is not in your transaction file. So there are some elements of the DocBox that are not available in the transaction file. The majority of the ones are the ones that you're going to use day in and day out are. So really manage that transaction file and those documents through the transaction. Final step here, I want to go to the Settings tab because I want to show you how you can access these documents from any Internet-enabled device. So I'm leaving Transactions, going to Settings. Settings is always a great place to go if you've never been into this, if this is the first time you've ever seen this feature. A great way to add content to your online account. Content like clauses and quick start groups and transactions, templates, branding. If you want to add your personal photo and company logo, great places to add content to your Instanet Forms plus DocBox account. I'm a huge proponent of templates. We have follow-up webinars. If you've never created a transaction template, I would certainly recommend for any user to use and create templates. We're going to focus on My Preferences, clicking on that My Preferences in the top left corner and clicking on Continue. I'm going to do this in kind of reverse order. I'm going to start at the bottom of the dashboard here, these green bullet points, to point out DocBox to Go. DocBox to Go is our website that is optimized for mobile browsing. It is a website. It is not an app. It is a website. You navigate to www.docboxtogo.com. You type in your first name, your last name, and your unique DocBox password. I'll show you what that is here and how to access that in just a moment. This website is optimized for mobile browsing, cell phones, iPhones, Blackberries, Androids, Treos, whatever smartphone that you may have, any phone that has browser capability, internet access, netbooks, Windows mobile devices, tablets, all of these kind of non-traditional computers. You can access your online accounts through DocBox to Go. Great way to access all of your online content through those iPad, not iPod. iPod is music, iPad, tablets, Zooms, and the new BlackBerry the new BlackBerry that's coming out. Lots of different tablet devices. Non-traditional computing. It has to have internet access, internet-enabled device. DocBox to go. Great opportunity there. First name, last name, and I'll show you how you get that unique DocBox password. The other feature I find to be a tremendous value is this print driver. The print driver, again, left-hand side of the dashboard, print driver will let you virtually print any document to upload, email, or fax. Let's see if I have a document down here we can work with. Sure, the audio message. I'm going to be re-raising this in a moment anyway. So any document, in this case, Notepad, Word documents, PDFs, image files, spreadsheets, whatever document that you have, if it has a file drop-down menu and a print feature, you can upload, email, or fax. Because I have, here's all the other ones. Here's my all-in-one. There's my scanner, copier, fax, blah, blah, blah. HP LaserJet. This is actually the one I actually print using because that one is much more frugal with the ink. What's another one in here that you see now? DocBox Printer by Instanet Solutions. You install this print driver so that you can log into your account, so that you can upload, fax, or email that document right from the print feature. I think I need to upgrade mine, but you download and install this print driver on your computer. You then use that print driver to upload, fax, or email these documents directly through that DocBox print driver. It's a great little feature. And my version, I need to upgrade my version. But you put in the user key. I'm going to move this up here just a little bit so we can see. You install it. And we have a little user guide that you can read and review, a 6-minute overview video of it. But you install this print driver. You use the key and your unique DocBox password to log in so that you can upload, fax, and email these right from that print feature. So great opportunity there to follow up and see how to use that feature. Now I've mentioned this unique DocBox password, and I'm going to click here, top left-hand side. First going to click on password management because you can have your unique DocBox password emailed to you. By clicking on password management and click here, it's going to email you that unique password. Now this password, you only use it if you're going to use the DocBox to go or the DocBox print driver. Otherwise, this password is not going to affect any other passwords. It's not going to affect any other login features. So click here, have it emailed to you. You can retain that unique password, or you can change it to whatever you would like it to be. So that is how to receive that unique DocBox password. Now, if you need to know where it's emailing it to you, that's the next feature there, user information. Top left corner, user information. Verify the email address that we have on account for you. And it's most likely the same email that is at your MLS, because that's when you have your account created, that detail is passed to us by the MLS and association. So that's the email where the unique password is going to be delivered. You get the password. You can change it to whatever you'd like it to be. Use that password to access DocBox to go. Use that password to install and then access the print driver. Print driver is a great tool. Saves a lot of clicks, a lot of steps, especially if you're getting email messages, or maybe you did scan that listing agreement. Now you have the file on your computer. Do you want to go and log into your MLS account, then click over to your transaction desk account or Instanet Forms plus DocBox account, then go to your transaction file? It's a lot of steps. So if you just scan it, open it, file, print, you can then upload it directly to that transaction file. It saves a lot of time, energy, and effort to get those documents back into your online account. So with that said, and time really is of the essence, I know we kind of scooted by our time there. I usually do schedule these for an hour, so I was a little surprised that it was only 45 minutes, but a lot of content to cover in a short amount of time. But with that said, I want to be very mindful of that. I do appreciate your time, energy, and effort to attend this webinar session. A couple features there, youtube.com/Instanet webinars. This is our shorter How Do I videos, 1 to 5 minutes. You'll find that print driver 5-minute. You'll find that DocBox to go 5-minute, and then little like how do I email, how do I fax, how do I. You get the idea. youtube.com/Instanet webinars for those shorter How Do I's. transactiondesk.com/webinars. Now this is our live nationally broadcast webinar sessions, weekly schedule of sessions that you can sign up for. They're all free. All of our training content is free, and you can sign up or for live sessions or access our recorded library of full-length 30 to 75-minute sessions. One feature that we're doing, especially through Rochester, I think it's the better way, and I apologize for not having that link right here, but your catalog specifically for your association, specifically for the classes that we have scheduled. I think we're scheduled out till October or November. We have a bunch of sessions coming up over the next few months. So take advantage of those. Sign up for as many as you would like. They are all free. You can be a repeat viewer if you choose to. We are recording these sessions as well, so I'll be delivering this recorded content, and the association will be posting the recorded content for you to review as well. If you would like a follow-up webinar just for yourself, your team, your office, they are free as well. These are nice because they can be tailored to your time and the content that you're most interested in covering. They're more interactive, so we can both hear and talk to each other, so we can discuss implementation strategies to make sure that everyone is getting the highest and best use of your member benefit. Remember, everything that we've looked at today is part of your dues. You paid your dues. You receive these services as part of that member package. So tungle.me/webinar, Greg. It's our online calendar. You can submit requests right through there for time and days, specifically for your group of folks that want to learn more or just get better interactive sessions regarding your member benefit. So with that said, I will remain for at least 5 minutes to answer questions directly through that chat section. I am going to log out of the audio portion, but will remain to type and answer questions through that chat section. I appreciate the kind words and do hope that this webinar was of benefit to you. And until we webinar again, I hope that you have a tremendous, tremendous day.